day does it for me on the ones that I'm using. Now, what I'm using for myself is, I'll call it Compound X, which is a bunch of biochemicals that I and my bud in Minnesota came up with. And this was a kind of an interesting one because even though it's a bunch of biochemicals, it has a tendency to make everything smooth. Just a kind of a smooth feeling to it. It integrates well. I was very surprised when I first started taking it because it was like a great big upper, but then it made everything smooth. Another thing I do is I take a homeopathic blend. And what I say is, in my thing, is I just say optimal homeopathics for me. And then I also take a hormonal blend so that I have optimal hormones, at least by what I'm stating. Each one of these things produces a reaction with me, and I feel that after I'm saturated a certain amount, what I do is I just feel highly amplified and energized. Also, the hormones, I've noticed, tends to make men build muscle more quickly. And I won't say exactly why that is. I'm not even sure I know why that is. All I know is my reactions to muscular growth seem to be enhanced by that. I really haven't talked to women that much. I'm just experimenting with myself and a few people right now. There is also one that I produce called Sensuality. And this one I do know for a fact affects women very strongly. The women that I normally work with are highly sensitive people. When they feel it, they feel it, and when they don't, they don't. And they're very unusual. And in every case where they have tried sensuality, they have really felt more sensual. So, but those are just the ones that I came up with that I like to. You know, everybody has their own way of doing things, and I'm not saying one's any better than the other. It's just that I know for a fact that these things absolutely work for me. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to produce things that assist the energy coming through from the machines. One is the water stuff, which I think is excellent. And, of course, the other is the glass, which is very, very blending. It tends to allow the energy, the tachyonized glass allows the energy to come through much more smoothly. And there's a certain amount of tachyonized glass being fed into each one of the machines as well for that particular reason. Any questions? Have I snowed you guys, or am I too complicated? I'm trying to make this very straightforward. And I know my little harangue there at first might have been a little bit carried away, but what I'm just trying to give you an idea is essentially how important water is in so many ways, just besides allowing biochemical reactions to happen. It really is a living part and probably the most important part of the human physiology, and, of course, it's the largest volume as well.
Bill, I like the idea.
Excuse me.
I like the idea that you were talking about hormones, that maybe it could assist and have, our bodies actually.
As you know, Leslie, hormone production drops as you get older.
Yes.
So I was watching a TV program about a week and a half ago. Suzanne Summers was on plugging her new book. And one of the things that she does is she talks about hormones and how important they are. So, she has, for instance, she gets DHEA and these various things, and she takes these things. And I thought, there's no reason why you just can't do that with a machine. So I just got these things, the vitamins, the minerals, all this kind of stuff she had in there, put them all in there, and that's my hormone blend. That's what I call it, but it's really a whole bunch of other stuff too, vitamins, minerals, all made to be optimal for the person, just in a water crystalline way.
Oh, that's very interesting. It's a hormone blend.
Well, I can tell you that here's what the hormone blend does for me. First, it amps me up, which I don't mind at all. And second, not that I need it, believe me, but I do like this one. And then I also noticed that it builds muscle mass. I really can tell the difference in the power and size and strength of my muscles since I've been taking it. This is as a man talking. I don't know whether it would affect a woman that way or not.
And what was the first aspect that you saw in it?
Let's just say more energetic.
Really?
Definitely more energetic. Things tend to make me, if they work well for me, they tend to make me more energetic. And again, I would like to emphasize that you do have to take enough. If you don't take enough, you're really not going to get where you want to go. You have to take it to saturation, in my opinion.
So it's a good glass or two.
I don't think you probably were going to need that much. I would say that if you had a 10 milliliter bottle, if you gave yourself 2 or 3 squirts at a pop, you'd probably be getting close to full within a very short period of time. You might take 6 the first time, but after a while, 2, 3, 4 is about it for any one particular preparation. Or, okay, I shouldn't say preparation because you don't prepare it, but elixir, let's call it. Any other questions?
Yeah, Bill.
Yes. Is this Jack again?
This is Jack again.
Okay, fine.
How can we continue to take advantage of this? I mean, you're doing this as a demonstration tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about that right now, and I think it's possible to produce this stuff. Just have you get as an example, a preparation, at least initially, as long as we don't get inundated too much. We can produce a preparation, or you can have a bottle filled with water, and I can take about 5 minutes. You tell me what you want. I put on the machine, and off you go. And I think we could probably do that for, I don't know, I'll have to talk to Kevin about that one. I don't want to get in the way of my business guy here. But I think we can, if you have, at least initially, I want to do this. I'm very interested in doing this because I want to see what people's reactions are. So we're not going to get carried away with anything. Eventually what we'll do is probably bottle it and send it out. I have a way that will keep its strength indefinitely, so that won't be a problem. Also, Kevin's been talking to me about the possibility of producing water that has certain characteristics to it. In other words, just bottling it, and I think he says that he has some kind of a way of doing that. But again, this depends upon demand. If people have an interest in this, then we'll try to make sure that you're satisfied. I know that probably sounds a little nebulous, but you have to understand that to me this is like you guys are like the first people I'm introducing to this because you're all clients and you are sensitive or you wouldn't be clients, and you're looking for new things to occur for you. And what I'm doing is I'm finding the things that work for me as I come up with new ideas and then simply presenting them to see whether they're acceptable to you or not. I know this probably, I'd love to tell you that I've got 5 million bottles. Would you like 250,000? The fact of the matter is I don't do it that way. I want to see what people like. I want to see if this is worthwhile.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bend over backwards to help you.
How is this different from the etheric water? I purchased a bunch of these labels.
Okay, the etheric water is a specific power. Doesn't have to do with the homeopathic stuff. Doesn't deal with hormones. It just has real positive things on it, various types of things I won't go into. But let's just say it's not centered towards, it can't be tailored towards anything. Each one of these machines have a specific thing that it sends, and it gets altered, but we don't do specific rifle shots like this would be.
I see. So this is more specific.
Yeah, the machine really doesn't care.
Hey,
if you would like to have a great date with Jane Doe tonight. On the other hand, if you wanted to have something where you felt full and positive and confident, but I don't put things like confident and stuff like that on the machine. I think they're just too specific. And I don't care to have that signal coming in that way.
I got some blind feedback.
What's blind feedback?
Well, Liz just walked in, and I gave her the happy water, although I didn't tell her what it was.